Hello everyone and welcome. I'm VelvettB and thank you for joining me today. So I thought I'd spend some time talking about for rent, how to set up your rental, and just a few bits and pieces around having your rental all ready to go. There's a few different ways of having your rental set up. So first up, we are going to look at renting out when you are an owner on the property. So I have a sim that is an owner on the property. Now, once your house is ready to go, this is actually currently a residential. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to a rental house now that we are on the lot. I've got my little fella here. So we are going to go into build mode. And we're going to click up here for the venue information. So in here, you should have the residential rental lot type. Now, if you don't have this lot type, I would suggest you have a glitch in your game. I know that there has been a few people out there that do not have this lot with rentable units, residential rental lot type available to them. I think you probably have a glitch. My suggestion is if you don't have this available in your save, start a new save, try out a little rental, see if it works in that. You might have a corrupted save on your hands. So we are going to change this to a residential rental from residential. I like to build in residential mode. The reason for that is it's a bit easier. It can be a little bit fussy in residential rental when you're in that mode and try to build. So I prefer to build in residential and then switch to a residential rental. So let's do that now. So I have set this house up. So we've got a couple of shared areas, so 1, 2, 3 shared areas as well as a basement. So those are going to be our shared areas, and then we're going to have 3 room rentals on either side, so there's going to be 2 rental units. Because there is somebody living on the lot, so this guy here, he is going to take the first unit that we set up. So let's get our rental set up. So you go into unit configuration. So this is the settings here. So first up, we're going to set up one is the riverfront. So as I said, this will be the one that he will live in. So what you need to do is click on the unit and you need to change this to one is the riverfront. And you do this with each of the rooms that you want to be in that unit. And you'll see they'll all turn the same color because they are all the same unit. One is the riverfront. And then that, you can see the outline there, that is going to be, one is the riverfront, that particular unit is now set up. So now we're going to set up our shared areas. So we're going to again just click on the room and we're just going to leave that as a shared. This area here already set up as shared, and this area here already set up as shared. You could absolutely change this just to fit into one is the riverfront, and that would actually be part of that unit, but we're going to leave that as shared today. Now to set up the next unit here, same thing again, very easy, just click on it, but this time we're going to create a unit, and this is going to set up 2 as the riverfront. So this is our second unit. And then we're going to just go through, and then we're going to go down, select 2 as the riverfront, and 2 is the riverfront again, and that's our second unit. So our current sim who is living on the lot will automatically be moved into number 1. Unless we otherwise specify. And we can actually set unit traits and challenges for each of the different lots as well. So if we want to have it as convivial, bracing breezes, and maybe geothermal, and maybe he likes to reduce and recycle, I don't know. And in this unit configuration, we can actually go, so just to get out, you go back like this. And we can set this as the home unit. If you would like to move our fella here into the other unit, you don't want him to be in this one, you want him to be in this one, you just switch this to home unit. So just like that. And that'll switch him to living in whichever unit you prefer. Now, if you would like to assign all the rooms to this unit, you can actually also do this, assign all rooms to this unit, and it'll look a little something like that. Just undo to go back out if you don't want that, by the way. So into is the riverfront. Again, we can set our lot traits, and they can be completely different from the other units. So maybe we have fast internet and sunny aspect, and we don't have any lot challenges, and we just go back to unit info to get back out. We can delete the unit if we need to, and we can hide the unit if we need to. So this is what this option is here. So we can now hide the unit. We can't see it, or we can leave it on so we can see it. And that is basically how you set up the rental. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go out of build mode and we're going to rent out this unit. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So our lovely Jackson Cassidy, he is going to now rent out the unit. So if you go into owned businesses, this unit here is now an owned business. So we're going to fill that vacancy. So the little owned business at the end there, the little till, that is going to show up with our information. 2 is the riverfront. It is rated as a 3-star unit. So we can travel to the unit, we can view the agreement, and we can fill the vacancy. So we're going to find someone to live here. So it talks about the unit rating, the size, the amenities, the environment, and the maintenance levels. And then you can set which unit rules you like. I'm going to set all of them because if they break the rules, we can find them and that's fun. You can set the lease length for as long as you like, and you can also set the rent. I don't like to set the rent until I've hit the arrow to see which tenants are available and what the maximum is that they want to pay. So just go into select tenants. So if we go through here, we've got our rent cap. So this is the maximum that these sums will pay, and then how many beds they want. So if they've got more beds than you have, it's probably not worth renting that out, just more trouble than it's worth. Now we have these two here, Boulder and Riviera. They both want to pay 131 simoleons, which is fantastic. So we'll go with the first one on the list. Go back to tenant agreement. Now what you want to do is put in the rental amount. So the maximum they will pay is 131. Well, that's what I'm going to charge them. So now we can go, just make sure that is correct, and the lease length is as long as you like. Well, what happens with the lease is that it comes up for negotiation at the end of this period. So if you want to make this, say, 14 days, so it's going to be 2 weeks before you can renegotiate with your tenant for them to re-sign on to live in your house. So just be careful with how long you set that for. So let's go back to select tenants. We've got our tenant here that we want to select. So now we're going to just push done. And just like that, we've filled the vacancy and we've got some tenants living in our lot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move him out. Okay, so our sim has now upgraded to some better rentals. And let's have a look at his own businesses. So he still owns is the riverfront, but now he can rent out is the riverfront number 1. So this is the other unit that he was living in and has now moved out of. So let's fill that vacancy, and we're just going to go through exactly the same process. So let's check on our tenants. How much can we rent it out for? Actually a little bit less than the other one, so 117, but they need 3 beds, not ideal. So let's maybe rent out to 1 bed, and we've got 2 adults, 2 infants, maybe not great either. I reckon we need to go with Ellen here for 104. So let's go back, rent that out for 104, 7 days, all the rules, and move that in, and boom, done. And that is the whole of the property rented out now. So we've got 2 is the riverfront, and 1 is the riverfront are now listed in our businesses that we own. And we will start to collect rent. You generally get rent, I think it's usually about a Wednesday, but I could be wrong on that. You should receive that weekly. Okay, so now we're going to set up a rental unit where nobody owns the unit, and then we're going to try and move a sim renting the home from Managed Worlds. So this is our home that we're going to rent out. So we're going to split this into units. So this is a 3-bedroom home. So I'm going to split it into 3 units with everything else being shared areas. So first up, we need to change to a residential rental lot. Always the first thing you need to do after you've built the house, obviously. So now we're going to go into unit configuration, and we're going to assign 1 Tam Nang Sands. So this is going to be this unit here. And this is going to be number 1. So next we are going to go into the 2nd bedroom upstairs. So this one here and this one here, we're going to go down into create unit, and this is going to be number 2. Let's click on this unit here, and this is going to be number 3. And all the other parts of the build will be all shared units, so they can share absolutely everything else in the build. They've got like a study, kitchen, dining, blah blah blah. So everything else will be shared. So now we should be able to rent this out to 3 different people. Let's just see whether or not we can get this rented out. So we have 3 units available here. Rent of 33, 30 and 26. Wow, that's cheap. So let's move some Sims in. First up, we're going to move in Nyen. So we're going to go move household into lot. And we're going to click on the rental unit. And then you've got to select which unit they're going to live in. So if you want to go upstairs, make sure you push the arrow, go up next floor. And then you can select if they're going to live in number 3, number 2, or go back down, number 1. So let's put them into number 1 and they can move in just like that. Get a couple more Sims. Okay, let's move them in. And once again, we'll move up and then we'll select the unit 3 Tam Nang Sands and they're going to move in just like that. Select another Sim, Mahi Ai. Mahi Ai will be moving in and then we're going to select the last free unit and boom. There we go. We have now set up units for each of the Sims to rent out. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go back to Jackson and we're going to see whether or not we can buy this business to rent out. All right, so this guy's rich. He wants to own more rentals. So let's go into owned businesses. So what we're going to do is actually go into buy residential rental. That should take you to the world screen. So we'll go into Tomarang and we'll click on our unit that we just set up with the 3 tenants. So this is going to be our new rental property that we own and we're going to click on that. It's going to ask us if we'd like to buy it. So yeah, we kind of do, don't we? That you are buying purchase 1 Tam Nang Sands as a residential rental. Tick. On the owned businesses, should tell you that you now own Tam Nang Sands and we own 3 units there. Is the Riverfront, we own 2 units there as well as his own home. So you should have all of your properties there. You should be able to view your agreements and amend those as you need to at any time. If you wish to sell the residential rental, just click on sell. And it'll tell you the price that you'll get for it, etc., and that you will no longer be the owner of that rental. And that is a basic rundown on how to set up rentals in The Sims 4. I hope that helps. I'm by no means an expert on this, and there are a lot of glitches still with this pack, but it is a lot of fun, and I hope you guys do get it to work and have fun with it as well. Hope it helps. Bye!